Professor Abdelaziz Ghanemi. Sorry if it's pronounced or maybe not correct. Please, let's.
Okay, I will introduce. The next talk will be Professor Abdelaziz Ghanemi, Laval University, Canada, and its title will be Broken Energy, Hematostasis, and Obesity Pathogenesis, the Surrounding Concepts. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Abdelaziz Ghanemi from Laval University here in Canada. I'm going to talk about the concept of broken energy homeostasis and its implication within obesity pathogenesis. I will mainly introduce some key concepts. I start with talk about general information on about obesity. Everybody knows now that obesity is really a huge health problem all over the world. Unlike some of us would think, it's not actually limited to the developed countries. Even the developing countries face such a huge challenge. The basic definition of obesity is an excessive fat accumulation resulting from the loss of balance between the energy intake and the energy expenditure. The most dangerous with obesity is not actually the physical appearance or the social impact, although these two items or elements are also important. But the key here is that it's a risk factor for hard and severe diseases such as diabetes, cardiovascular disease, cancer, and other age-related and chronic diseases. So the question that anyone could ask, very simple, is why the body cannot prevent obesity. We could also ask why is obesity hardly reversible? So obesity establishment in spite of mechanisms balancing the energy homeostasis. An unhealthy lifestyle, which means inactivity, unhealthy diet, sleep shortage, and also psychological or psychiatric disorders or problem with mood issues, puts pressure on the energy homeostasis balance and breaks it, which leads to obesity development. And once obesity is established, the mechanisms that were supposed to prevent it or correct the energy balance are somehow blunted. They are not working enough or correctly to prevent obesity. With this image, it becomes maybe easier to understand. We have the regular mechanisms that balance the energy balance, exchanged signals, messages between the gut and generally speaking, the digestive system, which is the tissue of the organ or the system that receives all what represents caloric intake, food, beverage, and the brain that has most of the centers in control of food intake, energy expenditure, in addition to some neurotransmitters as well as hormones. These are the mechanisms that help to establish or keep the balance. However, if we put pressure on these regulations or these pathways that regulate the energy balance through an unhealthy diet, inactivity, sleep shortage, or psychological mood, this leads to what we have called broken energy homeostasis, meaning that those regulating mechanisms or that balance is broken. This results in obesity establishment, including blunted mechanisms controlling energy balance, modified perception of energy control, new increased body weight reference. This point simply means that once we reach a level of body weight or fat weight, that level is converted within the brain as a reference or as a point toward which the energy or the energy balance would work toward, meaning that the body would always try to reach that reference and keep it. And that explains why it's so hard to lose weight or keep the weight following weight loss. The other elements are related to pathology such as insulin resistance and development of certain pathologies. The other element when we talk about the development of obesity is the type or the way of the fat distribution. Indeed, the fat tissues can be divided into many parts like subcutaneous or visceral, like central, can have also fat deposits within atherosclerosis. We could have also some ectopic location, such as maybe fat around the heart, the liver, the kidney. So these type of distribution, and depending on how fat goes, actually it depends on many factors. It's yet to be fully understood, but it has its important impact on pathogenesis, on how obesity develops, on how obese patients respond to treatments, their life quality, how they respond to different therapies, either of obesity or any other treatments. The other factors that we should consider also is psychological mood or the psychology or psychiatric status, which is actually linked with directly or indirectly with sleep quality or sleep shortage in some cases. So this issue could significantly impact the appetite, the food intake, as well as the energy storage, because having problem with sleeping or awakeness cycles could impact selected hormones that are related or have direct impacts on energy balance and thus the possible development of obesity. And therefore, the weight loss not only helps to improve the life quality, but it also could also be the result of a psychotherapy, because having a good psychological mood helps to keep a good balance, especially with the issue of food intake. So the conclusion of the take-home messages would be that once obesity is established, the mechanisms of energy balance are broken, and the brain sets a new reference, which is increased for the body weight, which makes reversing obesity challenging. Biological pathways resist to weight loss in order to preserve energy stores. The best way is the prevention, and the best therapy is the lifestyle. So when we think about obesity, generally speaking, we shouldn't only think about that diet or that exercise or just taking some medicines. The issue is to have a healthy lifestyle, because the key point is not to lose weight, but is to have balanced life, because we could lose weight, just go for some weeks reducing the food you eat and you will lose weight. But what after that? Gain weight back than another diet? That's not actually a good option. So the idea is to keep a healthy lifestyle. The other point also is it's important to keep an important lifestyle, even if we don't lose weight. That's very important, because we still get benefits from that. So acknowledge the scholarship, and this is the reference of the paper in which we have published the content I have just presented. So those who are interested can take the reference. It has BMID, so easily can find in PubMed. This is also an acknowledgement. And for those who would like to exchange or to send some emails, questions, discussions, possible collaboration, these are my two emails actually. So I look forward to receiving your emails and wish you all the best. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.
Thank you. Question, please. There is any questions? Okay, probably people already tired. Okay.
Okay, doctor.
Okay,
Next talk.
please.
Okay, can we move for next talk?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.